Hello, welcome back to my TED Talk. No, I'm joking. No, welcome back to my YouTube channel, okay? So I want to first start off by saying this. I want every last one of you to know, people that do watch my videos, that I am not the teacher. I am the student in life. I am 29 years old and I am navigating my way through the world. I am learning and I am still healing. Healing due to certain past experiences that I have experienced, past experiences I have went through. And so when I talk to you guys about uh, the law of attraction or the law of assumption, or if I'm talking to you guys, I'm using quotes from the greats. Okay, and I'm quoting this because this is something that I'm applying in my everyday life. And for me, something happened today that made me want to, please don't ask me why I'm doing this. I don't care what you say. I ain't got no lip gloss. But anyway, something happened today where it was almost like it was trying to dim my light, right? I had a dream. Before I had a dream, I don't want to get into it, but I do remember like my therapist telling me like, hey, she was like, you aren't a licensed professional therapist, so you should be careful what you say. If you guys have watched any of my videos, whether you are my OG subscribers or just even people who are new coming to the channel and who are curious about what I talk about, understand that what I bring to the table is very authentic. I want to be real as possible, and I want to tell you guys my story and tell you how I've been able to overcome obstacles and trials that I have went through and what I decided to help to change my life and to come into alignment. I am not someone here that has a $1 million home or a $1 million vehicle. And I understand that a lot of people, where you talk about the law of attraction or they talk about the law of assumption or just manifestation, the manifestation community, they talk a lot about that. And I know that some people, I was very hesitant before I get into that. I was very hesitant to talk about whether or not I wanted to put this type of content out here. However, ChatGPT said, you know what, why don't you do it? Because this is my manifesting journey. This is something that I've been going through and things that I have learned and mistakes that I have made. And I'm not afraid to tell you guys those mistakes. But I want you guys to understand that knowing when you've come into full alignment with yourself and when you feel whole within yourself is letting go of control, letting go of the negative doubts, letting go of the fears, letting go of the past mistakes, and really stepping into your power and recognizing who you are. So books like this, reading books like The Atomic Habit by James Clear, The Power of the Imagination. I actually just got this by Neville Goddard, and it is speaking to me. And don't get it confused. I apply these practices every single day. I'm not just waking up and just talking out of my ass just to come on a platform just so I can get views and subscribers. This is not what this is about. I want my audience to come onto this channel to feel seen and to be heard and to know that you are not alone. So if you want to start somewhere, people think that you have to have it all figured out or assume that you have to have a piece of paper to show whether or not you're qualified to talk about certain information. But information is around us every day. We're learning about knowledge every day. It's not just only in the schools. And I'm not saying anything bad about going to college, absolutely not. But I will not let anyone tell me who I am and where I stand. And I say that to say this. So the dream that I had was actually, it was a lot. It was based off of my own negative past subconscious beliefs that I had. And I used to have dreams about me drowning. And when I drowned, I would drown in those dreams and I would just be gone. But in this dream, it was more different. In this dream, not only did I see my grandmother, but I saw her, but it was like something that was red. It was like if you've ever played a video game and you're playing like a video game, like it could be Tekken or something, and you know how when it shows like the bars because it's showing how much life that person has. That's what it was saying. So something whispered to me and said, if you don't swim, you're gonna drown. So I swam, and I swam to the surface. And I remember an old friend of mine saying that The next time you have a dream of you drowning, just imagine yourself swimming, like swim, you know, don't drown. Because a lot of that, our dreams are a representation of subconscious beliefs that we have on autopilot, which have been around for many decades. And basically those subconscious beliefs can be certain doubts and fears and anxiety and certain things that we don't really normally are not really thinking, because our subconscious is not really aware. Our conscious is aware, but the subconscious is more unaware. So we're not aware of these things. So when we have these dreams, like they say, water is the representation of emotions. So I was drowning in my own emotions and my own depression and my own thoughts. And I used to have those dreams and wonder why I was having them. And it was a battle, but I was able to make it out. And that's why I decided to make this video. And I wanted to talk about that. It helped me to see things in a different way and to shape my reality in a different way, because I watched a video previously about Bob Proctor talking about the paradigm. And the paradigm is a model, pattern, or framework that shapes how something is understood, interpreted, or approached. It's often used to describe a dominant set of beliefs, theories, or methods, okay, etc. Examples: the science, Newtonian physics, Einstein's theory of relativity shifted. It could be sociology, culture, the way you think, values, things of that nature. So we're going to focus on the beliefs and habits and thought patterns and decisions. And what Bob Proctor was saying was that in order for us to create our reality and to manifest, we want to be able to change that paradigm. So I felt like that was me changing the paradigm and breaking out of that cycle and saying, I'm going to swim. Even though this water felt so deep and it felt like there was a pressure that was holding me down. So if you feel like there is something that is holding you down, if you feel like because vibrating at a lower frequency, we talk about the root chakra. I'll get into that another video. But when you are vibrating at a low frequency, you are allowing a lot of things that are around you in your life to put you down. This could be, or you could just allow the programming of how you were programmed at a young age to think about how money is hard to come by, or how, money comes and goes, people come and go, the shape of how you see relationships. This is all a paradigm. This is all a subconscious, an internal model pattern that we have to be able to change within ourselves. And until we are able to shift that paradigm, we are going to stay stuck. Now, no, I am not a licensed mental health professional. I do not have a degree. I did go to school for psychology and sociology. Yes, like I said, I am still learning as I go. However, I will say that I am knowledgeable, and what I tell you are things that I'm doing in my everyday life. So I do want to say, once again, I am the student in life. I am not the teacher, but I don't mind being the student, because me learning more about this is helping me to overcome my fears and overcome that paradigm that I was used to, that I was once programmed to believe, and to shift my perspective and turn my perspective away from what is happening outside of me and focus more on in my own internal beliefs. Because everything that we're creating, let's just be honest, Neville did say that consciousness is God, because our conscious is God. And when our consciousness is God, is our imagination. So when we are vibrating at a lower frequency, we're focusing on the 3D. We're at a 3D level. We're not at a 5D. We're not at a 6D. We're at a 3D level, and that's not the level that we want to be on. So when I come on here, I want you guys to know that either way you have a choice. Not saying that what I do is going to be something that may work for you. And manifestation has been around for many years, but I will say this: I have put it into effect, and I do it every single day. I've manifested true peace. I can honestly say that, because where I was before in my life, the way I thought and how I would react rather than respond, I would be so pissed at a certain situation, or someone would say something that I wouldn't like, and I would just either storm off, walk away, and I would just be upset and allow that to get to me, and subconsciously I would start to feel like I'm not enough. And I've been told that I wasn't enough. So at that moment, it was like a test. Are you going to allow this to stop you, or are you going to keep going in your life? So I decided to swim and I want you to do the same thing. Do not drown in your emotions. Do not drown in fears. Do not drown because of what other people say. And you are not less than because you don't have a piece of paper to prove it. And like I said, I have nothing against college. I have nothing against, no, I really don't. But I will not be silenced, and my voice will be heard, and it will always be heard, because I will always come on this platform and I will bring pure authenticity. And that's what makes me unique. No one can act or conduct themselves in a such way, because my experiences and the things that I've went through, nobody has walked my path. They have not felt my pain. They have not felt the darkness that I had to live in for so many years. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone or that my struggles are worse. No, but what I am saying is that I have overcame them, and I'm still overcoming them till this day. But from where I was before versus who I am, I can look at myself and say that I am proud of myself. And a lot of people have trapped themselves in a mental chamber, and I want to be the person to help you to unlock that, be able to free yourself from the spiritual chains and understand that your life can shift, and you can simply step into who you really are if you just trust and allow God into your life and allow the universe to work in your favor. But until then, you will continue to stay locked within that spiritual chain, within that mental chamber, and you will be a slave to your own mind. Your mind does not control you. Our thoughts, feelings, and emotions do not control us. What controls us is us, because we are gods ourselves. So my beliefs and my perspectives on how I see and view things are different from how other people navigate. I used to believe that, yes, you had to put in this hard amount of work in order to get to where you wanted to be. But is that really true? How about a shift in the perspective and changing and turning your attention away from the negative and focusing on what makes you, focusing on being more grateful, focusing on what will actually lead you to where you want to be and get you on the right path. True alignment is actually being able to let go of all of that and say, you know what, I'm going to choose to trust and have faith. And of course, you are having a plan. You do have a system that you create. And my system every day is to give myself to the world. My system is to give myself to me before I even give myself to the rest of the world, being able to study and learning more from people who I look up to, not as a fan, but more so as I look up to and apply these practices in my everyday life. And I have manifested things into my life, and I can say that I am grateful for those things. But truly, I've manifested self-love, being able to love myself whole and see myself in all parts and all shapes, and be able to accept myself for who I am and still say, I am enough, regardless of what anyone else has said, regardless of any past chapters that have ended or have closed. But I am enough, and I'm here to continue on my path, continue my path of greatness, and to know that I am leaving a legacy behind. And when my grandmother visited me in my dream, she was there to protect me, to say, I see you, and to not remember where you came from. And because of this, I can honestly say that I thank her, and I thank her for visiting me in my dreams. And I love her for that, because that gave me more motivation, that gave me more insight, and that gave me a true perspective of where I actually belong. And I do belong on this platform, and I will continue to come on to my platform and to spread the message. And like I said, I am the student in life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and make sure that you share this with your friends or family. And once again, I am on a manifesting journey myself, and this is my journey, and this is me coming on here, being true to my audience. And I want you guys to understand that I see you. If you haven't been seen, I see you. If you have not felt heard, I hear you. And understand that I am listening, and I love you. Thank you.